Hi everybody, it is Colleen and I just wanted to tell you a little bit about why I got into the weight loss industry. At the age of 13, I struggled with my weight. I don't know if many of you can relate to, being short and squatty and awkward, too short for your own good, wanting to be accepted by all the popular kids. Wasn't really great in school. I was told that I couldn't read well, that I was good in math one year, wasn't good in math. I was halfway decent in athletics. I was a very good swimmer. I've tried all sorts of sports, and I was always in, competition, with others. My brother was an athlete. He was really good. Mom and dad really doted on him. And I was really, kind of the sheep of the family, I guess you could say, or at least I thought that was. So, I was embarrassed. I was told I couldn't get into high school. And, I was always, trying to, lose weight, get healthy. I was probably at age 8, a little bit overweight, probably about, 25 to 30 pounds overweight. I was chunky. I had thick arms, big thighs, very athletically built, and always wanted to be, slender, and always had trouble in the dressing room. All of those kind of issues that many of you may come across. At age 13, a boy called me a name, and it really, took heart. It was at that age where you started wanting to, meet boys, and you started liking different people, and that just, wasn't necessarily, working for you. You were doing all sorts of crazy things back when you were 13 and 14, going to dances and wanting to meet boys and going roller skating and just not feeling, comfortable in your own skin. Well, my mom was a loved to cook. My grandma loved to cook, so we loved to eat, loved to entertain, loved to have a lot of people over our house. One summer, my grandma, I was busy, so she was cooking really good, and I dropped my weight. I dropped that baby fat, and I got into the 9th grade, and I was like, wow, I've arrived. I was, feeling good about what I looked like, and I thought, wow, if I just don't eat, I can maintain this weight. I was very active that summer, and a lot of boys started noticing me, and I didn't know how to manage that. So I started putting on weight. I was always the life of the party. I was always, someone fun. I always was happy on the inside. On the outside, but on the inside, I was struggling with low self-esteem, feeling fat, always had some sort of wanting to be thinner, healthier. My mom was a beautician, so health and beauty was a thing. She always wanted me to look my best, feel my best, always took me to the great places to get clothes, always wanted my hair to be looking good. She got me to take makeup classes and things like that. So on the external, I was really, really happy. And, I hit a wall about, college age. I wanted to be a nurse. I always wanted to help people. First it was a doctor, and my grades just couldn't cut it. Then I thought, oh, nursing would be great. I'd make a great nurse. I, didn't mind blood. One of the moms on the block, she was a nurse, and I really loved Mrs. Mobby. She was great, and she was kind of a mentor to me. Didn't get into the college I wanted to, still feeling kind of not happy, and went off to college, went into nursing. Two semesters in, I struggled with the chemistry and the math and my writing, and just was having too much fun. That freedom that I had, I loved coaching people on swimming. I was on the swim team. I was a lifeguard and a water safety instructor, and I love that environment. I love being around the pool. I didn't necessarily like being a bailing suit, but I got over that. And the summers were fun. I taught swim lessons at the Chautauqua Institution at the Boys and Girls Club. And junior year, I was just tired. I had put on about 90 pounds from partying and drinking, and just felt really exhausted from the chronic dieting, overeating, undereating. I switched to dietetics because I talked to my mom. I said, hey, I really want to graduate in 4 years. I don't know what I want to do. I really want to help people. And she said, you love exercise. You love, you're always on a diet. Your weight goes up and down. Why don't you think of that? So I went into dietetics, realized that I was on the path of the regular program, now not the didactic program, needed to get a dietetic internship, and just was pretty much done with school. I don't know about you guys, but I was done. So I ended up getting a job with Bob Evans Food Service. I liked Quantity Foods. That was one of the classes I really enjoyed. I had lost 65 pounds through a physician-based program with getting you into ketosis, and I was really happy. I loved my life. I loved, being attractive, dancing, wearing really cute clothes. I was able to fit into my roommate's jeans. Now, guys, this girl was a twig, or what I thought was a twig. She was beautiful. She was fun. All the guys thought she was sexy, and I got to fit in her Guess jeans. And wow, I was on the top of the world. I knew that I had arrived. I knew that this was the weight I wanted to be at. Got the job with Bob Evans. Lived at home because I bought a car, and the car, I really couldn't afford it. I bought the car thinking my paycheck would cover the car. And I drove from Cleveland to Akron, and it was a nightmare. I lost my friends. I was really depressed. I was living with my family, my mom and dad. And I was going to bed at 10 o'clock at night, couldn't go out with anybody, getting up at 3 in the morning, driving to Akron. And it was hard work, getting up by 5, putting on the water, people calling off, being the grill cook, being the waitress. It was just, I put on that 65 pounds. I was very unhappy. The good thing was I met a really nice guy, and he accepted me for me. And we started dating, and we got married, and I decided that I was going to leave Bob Evans, and I was going to work for the company that I lost the weight, because I had the knowledge, the basis. I really love the program. I love the girls. So I became a coach through them. I thought, this is great. I could put my nutrition degree into good use with a company that I believed in the program. Well, I had gained so much weight, and I couldn't get down to the weight they wanted me to be at. So it was the pressure, the anxiety, the not feeling good, feeling like a failure, feeling fat, telling myself I was ugly, and it was that up and down roller coaster of, trying to be the right weight, trying to be the good girl, all that kind of stuff. So I ended up getting a job at a hospital, and I was a diet clerk and a food service supervisor. So I worked there for 5 years, took some more nutrition classes, and actually applied for a couple dietetic internship programs and got in the dietetic internship program. Very lengthy, there was a therapeutic, part with diet, which had like diabetes and lung and cancer and neurology and pediatrics. So you picked a rotation, and then the other portion of that was going to be, the food service quantity, community. And I thought, oh, that half is great. I can do that. The other part of doing the basal energy expenditures, and that was just not my cup of tea. All I ever wanted to do was to coach people, to get them to lose weight, to learn what I learned about yo-yo dieting, and to stop that insanity. Well, it was December, and the preceptor brought me in, and she said, hey, you can't cut the program. We're going to have to let you go. So I again failed. I didn't, meet the criteria to become a registered dietitian. I only needed to finish. I only had 3 more months. Felt like a failure, felt like a loser, felt fat, frumpy, and didn't know what to do. So I talked to my husband at the time, and he told me there was look for a job. There's got to be something for you. You're educated. You're a hard worker. So I find a job with a nursing home, and I then again was working with a dietitian, and I did the clinical rotation. I did their clinical reports for the nursing home, and I also worked with the food service director, and we planned menus. I did some ordering. It was really, I was thriving. Then I had my daughter in 94, and I went back to work right away. She had a babysitter, and then in 96, I got pregnant with my son. It was a little more challenging of pregnancy. Still worked through that, and went back. It took off for about 6 months, and then went back to work. And the organization, the nursing home, was changing a little bit. They were looking at the food service director and looking at, their costs, and they fired the food service director, who I loved. And I thought, oh, maybe I would get the job. This would be great, right up my alley. I put my degree in practice. It was, quantity foods, ordering, everything that I was capable of. However, they didn't want my skill set. They hired someone else. She was a great gal. We got to be good friends. And then they fired her and went to a contract company. And I saw the writing on the wall. I'm like, I cannot go with a contract company. They'll make me move around. We were stationary where we were at. My babysitting situation had changed, and I chose to stay home with the kids. Very lonely place, staying home with the kids after being, in the work environment for over 8 years. You're isolated. The ladies that stay at home really shun you. You're trying to find ways to keep the kids busy. I was overeating. I was exhausted. I was trying to entertain them, and my husband was a policeman. He was working long hours to make the payments and keep everything up so I could stay at home. And I just wanted to do something. I wanted to be a contributor. I was told in college that being a dietetics major or going into home ec, you can make, over $45,000 to $65,000 a year. And I was making squat. I was very depressed, lonely. Well, my daughter was in kindergarten at the time, and we were looking to possibly move. We were going to wait. But the economy was good. We decided to look for houses and found a wonderful ranch home in our budget that we could afford the payments on one income. So we moved. This community was great. I met two lovely ladies. I met Cheryl and Carol, and I actually bonded with the both of them. Cheryl had 2 kids. They were the same age as mine, so we were able to swap. I was able to have some freedom, go to the gym, go to the grocery store. The kids would play. We would swap out. Cheryl stayed at home, and she did finance and things like that from home. Carol was a kind of a stay-at-home mom, did some side jobs. That New Year's in 2000, she said, hey, you want to go to Weight Watchers with me? Let's start, Wednesday. New Year's was I think it was a Monday. It doesn't matter, actually. So she didn't know, however, that day I was trying to look cute and happy and all together for this New Year's party. It was a family New Year's. And I was sitting on the bed trying to stuff myself in these pair of jeans. And I was laying on the bed, as most of us do, trying to get that. And I just, felt fat and frumpy and stuffed like a sausage. Went to this New Year's Eve party, and I just was like, this is a last-ditch effort. I got to do something. I got to get this weight under control, the obsession with the scale and the overeating and the undereating. So we walked in the doors of Weight Watchers. It'll be, 19 years in March, and I lost over 55 pounds in a matter of 6 months. I've graciously kept it off for over 19 years. And I realized that I could do what my leader did. I could get up there, teach, share my inspiration, motivate, and use my nutrition background, which I always wanted, and help people thrive. So they were having an information session, and I applied for the job. Of course, they want experienced people that are the rah-rah cheerleaders for the program, and I became a leader. Great training. I loved it. I was on the path. My aspirations was to be a leader, leading lots of meetings, being a territory manager, then a district manager, and working for the Weight Watcher company and really helping the company change and thrive and to decrease obesity and disease. However, that didn't happen. 2005, my dad passes away suddenly. I was really hit hard by that. Emotions came up. I started gaining some weight through my old habits of turning to food for emotion. Felt like a failure in front of the room because I was not following the program. I was following old programs and preaching different programs. And in 2009, a girlfriend of mine, when I was living over here in the community I'm living in, I started running because that was a great way. If anybody knows, exercise is a key way to eat whatever you want, maintain your weight, but keep that insanity. You know, over exercise, under eating, go on the scale, just keep within the 2 pounds of what Weight Watchers wanted me to be in. And that was not a way to live. So the girl introduced me to whole food nutrition in a capsule and a yummy gummy. It was called Juice Plus at the time. I was nowhere nearing getting enough fruits and vegetables in my diet. I was telling everybody they needed to eat 5 to 7. I did early on in the program, and that's what kept me balanced. That's what kept my weight down. But if you're not balanced, you don't have nutrition, you're not going to lose the weight. So this fruits and vegetables in a capsule made absolutely perfect sense to me. I said, sign me up. The kids got it for free. My kids were struggling with some health related issues, eczema, constipation, and they were only eating corn, peas, and maybe broccoli. Green beans, maybe, if that. So I knew the family needed it. But what I really noticed is when I started eating the Juice Plus is that my energy increased. I was able to not have the inflammation. I was able to have better recovery after the long runs because I was doing 5 miles a day. I joined a running club with a bunch of ladies in the community. You know, I'm a people person here. I want to do stuff with people. And we started doing races, and I was running and eating bars, and thank God for Juice Plus and the research. From a nutrition standpoint, the research, hands down, you know, gold standard peer review research really was credible, that I knew that I was putting good things in my body. Unlike when I was eating vitamins, I didn't know where that source came from. So, you know, I knew that I wanted to share this message with all of the people I talked with at Weight Watchers. Nope, that was not going to happen. They had nothing to do with that. They were a corporate company. They didn't want anyone to share anything else that could benefit their members. And I was like slapped in the face. It's like, this was like my ticket to helping more people achieve better weight loss and help me possibly make a little side hustle. And, you know, one day, you know, I was in a weak situation where I had a knee replacement and the company was changing, and my manager said, are you in? Are you out? And I just said, I'm out. And I was like on that mountain saying, you know what? I want to coach and guide and share this Juice Plus story with as many people as I can tell, because it changes their lives. You know, it's not about the weight, everybody. You know, what I realized is that the weight was just an underlying issue of my acceptance and loving myself. So what I've learned with working with people and coaching people and changing my brand from Colleen Health Coach, using Juice Plus as a great lead in and building, you know, up people and helping people thrive and lose their weight, is I was able to decide that I want to help people get off the roller coaster diet, transform their health, live a sustainable lifestyle. So I call my company Sustainawell, because it's wellness and sustainability. And what I've learned within the last 5 years is that all I was looking for when I wanted to lose weight is I wanted to find that inner thin, that inner beauty, that inner person. And I can tell you that I have found that. And, you know, when I decided to launch Sustainawell in over 5 years ago, I want to help each and every man and woman break free from the up and down roller coaster, the failures of weight loss. So if you too want to lock arms with me, stop the failures, I am offering a free take weight off your mind session. Now, I don't know if this is for you. I just know that together we could break free from some of the issues that you may have struggled or may be struggling like I struggled for over 30 years. So if you want to take weight off your mind, please click on the button below and we will do a deep dive. And if nothing else, follow me. I will give you tips and tricks. I talk about 4 core principles in my way of personalizing your health plan. It's water, fruits and vegetables, sleep, and exercise. And we work together. So if you're looking for a different type of plan, someone that has lost their weight, gained their weight, lost their weight, is thriving, and has kept their weight off for over 19 years, then Sustain-A-Well and my Take Weight Off Your Mind session is something that you may want to take a look at. Thanks everybody for listening. Just wanted to share my story with you tonight. Have a good night. Bye now.